So I haven't done a log video for quite a while. I've had school, I've had other projects, and I haven't had much quiet time on weekends to be able to record because everyone's been busy. So since the first log, I began building up my base. I went to the Nether as well. I also went on a journey to get some cherry blossom trees, but for me, more importantly, snow. And wouldn't you know it, of course, I fell in on the first blocks of snow that I touched. I also, of course, it's my world, my rules. I looked underground and I found a trial chamber at some point, and what my plan is to do is to dig an elevator that will go land on one of the platforms so I can go up and down. I was trying to sort out my storage system for quite a while, leaving me with images like this. My initial idea with this base was to set up a large platform that I could build machines on and then build casings around them, like sheds or whatever, but I didn't end up going that way, and I began building a foundation for it to make it into like a house shed combo thing. I also built this little side room, which I was originally going to have a smeltery, but it was too inconveniently shaped. Sort of already ruined the idea of building on the base, because now I'm going to have to extend the base to be able to build more stuff on it. Anyways, when I went to the Nether, I found quite a couple things that were really interesting. I was relatively close to a bastion, which I raided and died in a couple times. I think I blew up my items once while going in there, which is pretty funny. That also had a netherite upgrade template and a single piece of scrap, and since then I haven't been able to find any more. In the Nether, I found the Happy Ghast when I was traversing the Nether trying to find a Nether fortress, and it was just on the ground being little cute. So pushed the Happy Ghast in water, and before I knew it, it was just walking around, just floating around. Really, really silly feather. Really love it. I also went caving a couple times. Still at the time of recording, this was recorded about a month ago now, I would say. Oh yeah, these screenshots are from a month ago when I went mining, and the results from that mine were pretty good, to be honest. I got a drill down there and mass quarried a bunch of stone and stuff, but I have not nearly enough redstone, so that's quite a problem, and I still don't, and it's been quite a while. We'll be building another iron farm at some point, or even a clay farm. A couple times found some skeleton horses. I think it's been twice that I've got a skeleton horse event. And the first batch I kept, they're all quite slow, but they can jump really high. I don't know if it's me, but I feel like I've been getting a lot more lightning storms and pillager patrols in this world than I have ever. I built this separate place, which is going to be like a field or something. I've built a windmill at the back of this, which I have still yet to fully finish. I want to get some more materials automated before I keep building, so that way I can keep building reliably. Don't think I introduced my horse last time. I went and found a horse after I realized I could get saddles and dyed it green. I like this horsey. Horsey nice. Horsey fun. Horsey nice. Just fun to play with horse. I also installed a resource pack that is for redstone related stuff, which I think will help me. Oh, I did like it beforehand, but the issue is that it wasn't loading properly. Cool guy on GitHub who owns the create mod port that I'm using, it was a turn it off and on again situation. So remember that if you're struggling with the resource pack, because that might just be the problem. I've got a mixer temporarily set up here. I use that to mix the brass. I also made a garbage disposal. I sort of want to keep the theme of this but improve it quite a bit, because I really like having open fire. After preloading the nether in like I think a 1,000 block radius, I was finally able to find a nether fortress, and that saved me a lot of hassle. I quarried over there, slowly lowered myself down using a rope pulley and some windmills, and it was a very close experience to dying. I got the blaze burners I needed. Despite me still being in copper armor, I have found diamonds a couple times, and I think I have like 30 something at this point. I also made a separate nether portal at the fortress, which when I popped out of was the very corner of the preloaded area. I sort of don't want to ruin the perfect circle. I might at a point. I might just make it a perfect square. I also was finally able to get electron tubes and therefore more materials, including deployers. I also connected the windmill's power to a chain conveyor system, and that's for transporting items and energy. At this point, it doesn't have much of a use, but I want to make more of these like power lines just to transmit items across my base. That way it can be like automating requests for farms. Now finally with brass, I did the thing I really hated and crafted the really expensive materials. I made a crushing wheel. I've still yet to put them up. The world's going well so far, and not just part of a log, but also part of my own talking. I wanted to talk a bit about how I went from really hating my self-expression to beginning to have my own taste and beginning to love my own taste. I still really struggle to be proud of anything I make when it comes to being fictional. Like, I have a lot of value for art, and I can't really feel connected to any art I make. Obviously it's not real, but it doesn't feel like it was made by me. It doesn't feel like it was made for me or an extension of me. It doesn't feel like any of those things, and that's an issue that I really have with art. I used to do one-on-one music tutoring, which was somewhere between like, it wasn't super serious music tutoring, but it was like part of therapy to try and help improve that self-expression. This was like a couple of years ago, maybe like pre-COVID, and I really don't have the most fond memories of it, purely because like everyone was really nice there. My tutor was like really good, but I didn't enjoy anything I made. It was very funny, but I feel like I couldn't make something passionate and emotional. Years still passed where I wasn't enjoying my own self-expression, and then I got a lot of value for art over the last 1, maybe 2 years. I mean, especially over 2025, that was a big year for for everything mental health related, but for my value of art. And I think it was maybe 1.5 years or so now. I was in the car. My dad had gone out to go to the shop, and I just decided, oh yeah, can I stay here? He said, oh yeah, sure. So I did, and I was listening to the radio. So really cool radio. In Adelaide, we have 3D radio, which is the community run radio. They played the opening theme to Cowboy Bebop called Tank. And this is the first music that I had heard for a long time that I think this was the first song that I was truly passionately connected with. It was really, really, no, not immersive, I would say really, really musical, yeah. It felt really musical. I could connect with it. Like, obviously I'm not in the car dancing to it, but I'm in awe, like flabbergasted beyond belief. I've been surrounded by a lot of Foo Fighters, Red Hot Chili Peppers. I think at some point there's a couple other rock songs like No One Knows from Queens of the Stone Age, but not necessarily the whole band. That was a lot of the music I was exposed to when I was younger, and still now I really like both bands, Red Hot Chili Peppers and Foo Fighters. And that was a lot more sort of family related music. It wasn't so much music that I rocked out to, but it was music that would comfort because it was related to my family. My parents have really good part in influencing my music taste. This is the first piece of media for a while, especially because it's music that I really connected with. And from there, I slowly began, like not in the car, at home with my own time, I slowly began to listen to more and more of the soundtrack. I was still quite nitpicky on what I wanted to hear, and that grew and grew my interest in the music from the seatbelts until I ended up going, oh fuck it, I'm gonna watch Cowboy Bebop. It's probably a decent show. I think I actually heard about it like 3 years before recording the show. I was watching a video from YouTuber Doodly where she was talking about different types of animation or something like that.
Take a look at this scene from Cowboy Bebop. Nobody would call a fight like this choppy, but while most of the fight is on 2s, or 12 frames a second, there are moments where the animation is at a mere 8 frames a second or on 3s.
And there's this bit where he talks about Cowboy Bebop's really good perspective with a fight scene from the first episode, and that was the only other time I'd ever heard of it. And it's like, oh yeah, apparently that's a good show, I should watch it. And then I really loved it as well, and that was the first anime that I really watched. Like, yeah, I mean animation, anime. Yeah, I've watched Adventure Time in full, Steven Universe twice in full.
That's where the workness comes from.
And it was a really good experience for myself. I'm really glad I watched it, and I glazed it beyond belief for the next 6 months. So yeah, Cowboy Bebop and Doodly's video in part was very responsible for me finding my own music taste, my own passionate level of tempo. The scene in Soul where the protagonist gets introduced to Jazz, and it's like, holy shit, this is awesome. That was the memory that still is stuck in my head and recurs every 2 months or so.
I remember one time my dad took me to this jazz club, and that's the last place I wanted to be. But then I see this guy, and he's playing these chords with Florence on it, and then with a minor, I was like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Then he has the inner voices, and it's like he's singing. And I swear, the next thing I know, it's like he floats off the stage. That guy was lost in the music. He was in it, and he took the rest of us with him.
I still want to progress with my self-expression. I've taken up a visual art class as part of this year in school to be able to try and stretch myself in that, okay, I'm happy with what I've done aspect. The problem is that that's the only class that I have an overdue assignment for, and I have maths, physics, chemistry. No, I'm overdue in art. We're not even doing drawing right now. We're just exploring different artists and learning different mediums before we're actually doing visual art. So yeah, definitely going to stretch myself in that. I'm going to keep expressing myself and keep trying to do these log videos. It took a while for me to get the chance to record this. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching, looking at what I had to share, and know that there's at least a few people out there who truly not giving a shit, truly were interested in this content